That is one of 4 contests on Tuesday. Republicans hold a caucus in Hawaii and vote in a primary in Idaho. And in addition to Michigan, both parties hold primaries in Mississippi. And Donald Trump goes into Michigan with a big lead in the polls. But are there political factors that are keeping him aloft so far? Or is it something else? Henry Giroux is a professor of cultural studies at McMaster University. He grew up in the U.S., joins me now from Hamilton. Let's talk about, Henry, what's behind Donald Trump's momentum at this point?
Well, I think that Donald Trump has really tapped into a sea of resentment and anger and fear that in many ways no other politician has been able to do. I mean, the Republican Party has been telling these people, in a sense, in many ways, the fringe element of the right wing, to be angry, but they haven't really told them what problems they need to be angry over. And I think that people are feeling relatively isolated. They don't have a language to identify the problems that in many ways are crushing their lives. And so they find themselves sort of speaking to issues in ways, or following Donald Trump, in ways that give voice to the kind of bigotry, racism, and anger that they feel.
And some people are pointing to factors like that, like Islamophobia and celebrity culture. I mean, this has been around for a long time. Why is it so different in 2016 that it's pushing this candidate forward?
Well, I think, you know, celebrity culture confers a lot of authority. And I think we live at a time when the spectacle reigns so supreme that, you know, Donald Trump has come along and taken advantage of it in a way that no other politician has. I mean, basically, he knows how to drive the media. I mean, he's a pseudo-candidate in the sense that he's not really talking about issues that he believes in. I think he's really talking about issues that will get him the most instant and quickest ratings. And he knows how to do that. And I think you couple that with the fact that the press has been so supine for so long in treating politicians like celebrities, at least for the last 4 years, that what they fail to do is ask the real serious questions. And so Trump has gotten a pass in many ways. And so in some ways it works. I think there's also another issue. I think that since 9/11, since 2001, the country has really been mobilized around shared fears rather than shared responsibilities. And I think that what you see are people who are basically lost in that they don't really know how to address what it means to live in a democracy anymore. One could actually argue that the problem that we're facing now is not over the left and the right, whether Trump is a fascist or not. I mean, the real issue here is around the fight for democracy, those who believe in it and those who don't. And I think what we see on the side of many of Trump's followers are people who basically don't believe in democracy.
Some pundits are drawing parallels between Rob Ford's run here in Toronto and what's happening with Trump in the U.S., both seen as fringe candidates without a chance at the beginning, anti-establishment. Does it have anything to do now with who they're running against? Right, because people don't want to vote for the establishment candidates. They want to vote for an outsider, and they just see him as an outsider.
Oh, I think they do see him as an outsider, absolutely. I mean, think about it. He speaks off the cuff. He's not scripted. He changes his mind. He insults people. He does all the things that absolutely are alien to what was considered to be established politics. And I think that the Republicans that, in fact, created him, I mean, this Frankenstein monster it really is what we have on our hands here. This is created by the Republican Party, and all of a sudden, he's giving voice to issues in a very bold way that the Republican Party has been coding for years, whether it's, you know, the war on immigrants, whether it's the racism, whether it's the celebration of, you know, the increasing militarization of American society, whether it's the, you know, a foreign policy that believes that democracy can be delivered through bombs. It seems to me that what Trump is doing is in some way embarrassing them because he's giving voice very candidly to issues that they're now, in their most extreme form, are completely embarrassed by.
All right, Professor Henry Giroux from McMaster University, thank you for joining us and for your insights this afternoon.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, we're going to take a short break here on CBC News Network.